Welcome to Retro.Quest1.0, fellow gamers. You'll be joining myself and good friend
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme, or aka Shannon and Nick. Absolutely. As we travel around the local area, maybe Australia-wide.
It depending, because budget is tight.
Budget is tight, yes. Budget is tight, yes. Definitely tight like my pants. But we're heading out on an epic journey to try and collect all Australian release cartridges from our retrospective favourite consoles. I myself have elected to collect the Super Nintendo and...
I'm collecting NES.
Yes, so...
Not Loch Ness, but NES.
Yeah, the original.
The original.
Or OG NES. The reason I went for Super Nintendo is because, first of all, there's less games to collect.
Cheaper.
It's cheaper, and I actually have fonder memories of the Super NES, even though the original Nintendo was my first console.
And he thinks he's super.
I am super.
You're not super. And the reason I'm choosing NES is because it was released the year of my birthday.
Yeah, because he's old.
Birth, I should say. I just connect better with the classic, because a lot of my history is with classic things. Like my day-to-day job is to deal with classic cars, so I thought, why not go for the OG model? And even though it's got a lot more games, like there's 715 Australian release.
Yeah. Yep.
35 more than the US.
Yep.
Which that's mainly because like there's Aussie rules football and international cricket and things like that. So you're more Australian, European-based games, and they're probably a lot more expensive. Some of the games are up in the $4 or $5 grand mark.
Well, if he chose to collect all the Northern American releases, if I just
chose to collect all of them in general,
yeah, I guess that's
I think there's 865 or something.
Yeah, and that's including the
special
releases.
So event release games and stuff like that. That would be outrageous. I would be a very broke person.
Yeah. Well, stadium events alone, I don't. We'll talk about the history of stadium events just quickly. It was originally released by a separate company. Then Nintendo thought, hey, we want that. They purchased it, rebranded it, put it with the Power Pad, and that meant that the original release stadium events is worth more because there was less released. So
they did rename it in Europe and Australia to Track and Field.
Yeah, Track and Field, that's the one. But if you want stadium events, the official stadium events, the one before Nintendo got to it, it can cost you anywhere between $4,000 to $40,000.
Yeah.
That's one that we've seen sold in a box and with the manual. Perfect condition.
Yeah.
So if he was going to go for that, his one cartridge would probably be more than most of my whole collection.
That one cartridge would probably add up to every other cartridge in the collection.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of... It is worth it, but it isn't. So I'm glad I'm only collecting Australian games, which is perfect. Because, yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Let's crack on to some, I guess, the rules of this game.
Yeah, okay.
The challenge
rules. The challenge of the rules. The challenge of the rules to Retro Quest 1.0. There's no real rules in regards to where you can get them from. So we're going to be using eBay, Gumtree, going to go see collectors, buying people's collections and stuff like that. Whatever we can use, as long as it's in Australia.
Yeah, as long as...
And they're Australian released. So we can't buy NTSC or Japanese ones and stuff like that. Because essentially in Australia, the power release ones are more expensive because we don't have a real big retro...
There's no real big market here for it.
Yeah, the market, that's right. That's right.
So... we're finding it very hard, like, even doing some pre-hunting, just looking for these games, is like, the prices are just crazy.
They're retail prices.
Yeah. Everyone wants retail prices for their games that they don't even know what they are. Yeah,
exactly. We've done some pre-research, like we said. We've done some looking online, and a lot of people base their prices off what they last sold on eBay, which necessarily isn't true, right?
They go on eBay and they look at the prices that people are listing them for.
Listing prices as well, yeah.
Which doesn't mean they're actually selling for that price. So people are a bit confused on what they want for their cartridges.
And it's like anything in life, you know, everything has a value, but the value is only really what someone wants to pay for it.
Yes.
So if someone's asking $400 for a game that's only worth $200, you know, we got to try and work around that. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to sell for $400, they're not going to sell for less.
Yeah.
But it's, in a way, we got to try and convince them. If you hold on to that, you might make you $400, but if you give it to us today, you know, you're going to get the money now. So that's
a lot of haggling is going to happen.
Haggling, that's, yeah.
We're going to haggle everyone.
I played a lot of Skyrim and a lot of...
we'll try and get those free games now. No, probably won't.
Bundle deal. What's the best you can do for a bundle deal?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Number one rule, has to be Australian.
Yes.
No NTSC Japanese, PAL only. So
Yes.
Australian released games. So that, like we were saying before, if it's Australian release, it means there's less to collect because there's only 469 cartridges for the SNES, 700 like you... 715 like you said. So that's number one rule. Number two rule, there is no number two rule.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
We don't talk about Retro.Quest. No. There's no time limit to this challenge. We want to sort of just stretch out the journey as long as it needs to be, because of course we don't have a massive budget.
Yes.
It's all self-funded. When I say self-funded, you know, I'm doing this out of my own pocket money. I'm a married man, pocket money. So, you know, we got to try and open up ways of raising funds as well. And that's why we're going to be looking at getting doubles so we can sort of trade those off, try and make some money back, and just go from there. But that's rule number two. No, there is no rule number two.
No, there is
no rule number two.
But we'll be documenting this week by week. So there'll be vlogs in between, live streams, whatever, and there'll be one weekly episode detailing what happened that week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, each cartridge has a rarity that is given to it through this app that we're going to be using. The links will be in below if you want to follow us or if you want to go on your own collection. It's definitely a great app. So rarity guide is 1 to 12, isn't it? It's 1 to 12.
Yes, 1 to 12. 1 being the most common.
Most common.
12 being the rarest.
Yep.
For example, some rare games they're in there. There's some event games that we...
Nintendo World Championship would be a 12.
That's a 12.
Yeah.
Which I don't have to collect because it's only North American release.
Absolutely. If you follow us on Instagram and our other social platforms, we will be having daily content added to those, and then we'll stitch them together into the video. So if you want to follow us and the journey, make sure you check out below. We'll put the links down there.